Welcome once again. My name is Gerard Bowens. I'm here on behalf of the City of Frederick's Office of Equity and Inclusion. Just want to take a moment to welcome you all here this afternoon, and I'd like to get us started with today's event by introducing Chris Fair, the Executive Director for the Frederick Center.
Thank you. Oh. Gerard is a little bit taller than me. All right. Let me see if I can. There we go. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. First, I, of course, would be remiss if I didn't thank the amazing Dennis Hoffman, one of our amazing queer business owners here in Frederick. Dennis has been investing in this community for decades, and him and his husband have proudly raised their children here, and it is such a honor to get to stand in front of Showroom today, his facility, to thank him and to recognize him for all of his hard work that he has done in the community. To the mayor, I cannot thank you enough. I was doing some math over the last couple of days and thinking about all of the ways that the city has partnered with the Frederick Center to create an inclusive Frederick community. And I was going back to your Board of Aldermen days, and when we passed the anti-discrimination policies for LGBTQ plus people in the city of Frederick, which was considered to be at the time really a unique and incredible achievement in the city. And I remember discussing it with our county partners. This was back in 2013, and it took us another 6 years to get it at the county level, when we knew that this is what the city wanted and desired and passed. We worked together, both when you were on the Board of Aldermen and then as mayor, to work on the Human Rights Campaign's Municipality Equality Index Survey. When we started that process in 2015, the HRC had documented that the city of Frederick had a score of 62, that is out of 100. Since 2017, the city of Frederick has maintained a perfect 100 score with the HRC, making it one of the few communities in the entire country that has a perfect policy score for supporting human rights and LGBTQ rights through the city. Mayor, under your leadership, we have continued an incredible agreement with the Frederick City Police Department, led under the amazing Chief Jason Lando here with us today. We have managed to sit on the Chief Advisories Council now for, I believe, going on 7 years now, as well as the city police have provided an LGBTQ plus liaison to the LGBTQ community for all of those years. It is an incredible partnership that we look forward to continuing into the future. I would also like to take a second and thank the various organizations. The Frederick Center does a lot of incredible work for the community, and I could go on for hours telling you all about the hard work we do day in and day out to support hundreds of people. Specifically, in 2023, we saw over 500 individuals walk through our doors 4,000 times to receive support and services, and we were proud to do that. But there are so many other LGBTQ-led organizations throughout our community that also work day in and day out to support each other and help one another. So I want to highlight our social activist groups that stand shoulder to shoulder with the Frederick Center every day, fighting for LGBTQ equality and equity. Community for Frederick and PFLAG Frederick, both out there fighting for policy changes, fighting to change the atmosphere and the community and the culture around LGBTQ plus people. Our social networking clubs, including Pride on the Patio, the LGBTQ plus Happy Hour Frederick, Pride at the Pub, the Stonewall Climbers Club, the LGBTQ plus Book Club, Off-Kiltered Riding Club, Hood College's Queer Student Union, and Frederick Community College's Gender and Sexuality Alliance. All of these associations create more and more spaces for queer people to feel safe, identified, and loved. The Frederick Center is proud to be part of that process. We advocate every single day for LGBTQ safety, equity, inclusion, belonging. We believe that it is our mission to make sure that every queer person in Frederick County feels safe and at home when they are here. And our team fights every day, and I cannot go any further without thanking them. Specifically, our development director, Martin Scarborough, our program director, Glory Casuto, our HIV Coalition director, Alex Biggis, and our trans support facilitator, Marcia Simpson, all provide critical resources every day on the ground to support the needs of LGBTQ+ people. Behind their work are the dozens of volunteers who spend countless hours supporting the efforts of our center. A few of them are in our audience today. They volunteer for programs like Pride. They volunteer for programs for fundraising activities. They volunteer their time to make sure that events happen throughout the year. They volunteer their time to make sure that our doors stay open when our staff is out running errands. They are critical to the infrastructure of the center and making sure that the center continues to expand and grow in a healthy way that helps and supports all LGBTQ+ people. For Pride Month, it has been an absolute whirlwind. We have already conducted 12 separate pre-Pride events this month alone. It is an unbelievable feat and accomplishment and a statement to the hard work of the countless volunteers and individuals every single day who fight to make these events happen. We do have a few left to go, so I wanted to take a second and highlight those events here. We have this upcoming Thursday night, we have Pride Night at the Keys. Anybody who's a baseball fan? We have a special Pride Night at Nimio Field at Thursday at 6 p.m. You can get your tickets. You can see Miss Gay Maryland throw out the first pitch and sing the national anthem. It's going to be an incredible experience. We're looking forward to it. We have our Pride Karaoke Night hosted on Thursday night at 7 p.m. at Bushwallers. We have on Pride Day, our Pride Interfaith Service is going to be held at GRUCC this year at 11 a.m. on June 22nd. That's Saturday, June 22nd. And then, of course, the big event kicking off at 11 a.m. at Carroll Creek Linear Park, Frederick Pride, starting with a very special wedding ceremony that will be happening on the Carroll Creek Linear Park suspension bridge. We hope that everybody will take the time to be there at Pride this year, join the tens of thousands of people we expect to be in attendance, and make sure that you're being safe. If the weather continues on this current trajectory of the sun, we need to make sure that we are being safe out in the public and making sure we're staying hydrated and using proper sun protection. And we in addition, opened for the first time ever a cooling room with our thanks to the Frederick County Public Library for donating their community room to the center for the Pride Festival. You can actually use that room if needed if you get overheated. Finally, I want to acknowledge the mayor's incredible actions that they have taken recently, and the Board of Aldermen have taken. The mayor, working with Council President Nash and Councilwoman Kazumchak, made an incredible statement a few weeks ago regarding its support for LGBTQ communities and Pride-based events in Frederick City. I'm not going to get ahead of the mayor and make the actual announcement. However, I do want to say I'm going to make my own announcement here because we have been working on this, that with what we're about to hear from the mayor, the Frederick Center is ready to announce that we have been already working with the City of Frederick, and that on Friday, June 27th, the Frederick Center will be hosting the first ever Frederick Pride Parade right down in downtown Frederick City, the first time in 12 years. So I am super thrilled to make that announcement. I cannot tell you what an honor it is to be here. I cannot begin to explain how surreal it is to think back from when we started to where we are today. I cannot thank the mayor enough again for his leadership and working with the center and the entire LGBTQ+ community to really make this city as special as it is. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to our mayor of the City of Frederick, Mayor Michael O'Connor.
Well, thank you, Chris, for that introduction this evening. But more importantly, for the invaluable work that you and the Frederick Center do for our community every day. Your efforts have provided a sanctuary, a voice, and essential support to our LGBTQ+ friends, neighbors, and family members. We know that if the City of Frederick is going to accomplish the important work to become the most inclusive and welcoming community we can, the Frederick Center will be at the forefront of those conversations. And the partnership between the Frederick Center and the City of Frederick must remain strong. So I'm thankful for that ongoing collaboration. Many of you know that the work of the Frederick Center and their mission is to support the LGBTQ+ community, and it's vital to the well-being and vibrancy of our city. It creates safe spaces, offers essential resources, and champions equality and acceptance. It's through this advocacy that Frederick has become a welcoming place and a place where pride truly shines for so many. And it has become the home of the second largest Pride event in Maryland. And we're enormously proud of that. So I expect this weekend's event, as you've already heard a little bit from Chris about, will be bigger and better than ever. I also want to thank the members of the Board of Aldermen for their continued support and advocacy for these important initiatives that we've been announcing through these briefings and which we will announce this evening. What we do as a city is not able to happen without an effective partnership between the executive and legislative body, and it's important work that we're trying to accomplish. So I also want to extend my thanks quickly to Showroom and to Pride on the Patio for hosting the City of Frederick today and for being a part of this great event. When our staff realized that this initial date that we had chosen coincided with Pride on the Patio, we pitched a slightly crazy idea to Showroom to bring our briefing and our announcements to you. And there was no hesitation to accept. So for that, we are thankful, but we're not surprised, because the spirit of inclusion and celebration that you foster is precisely what makes Frederick such a special place to live and thrive. And oddly enough, the timing is serendipitous. As some of you may know, City Hall flooded a couple of weeks ago, which is really hard to do without a lot of rain. And our boardroom is still in a state of repair. For the past 3 years, the City of Frederick has embarked on an equity initiative featuring cultural recognition videos. And each year we've added new layers to these videos, reflecting the rich diversity of our community. And this year we've taken it a step further by unveiling these videos at City Hall and now sharing them with the community directly. So today we are thrilled to present our latest cultural recognition video for Pride Month. Without further ado, let's turn our attention to the screens for this debut.
Embracing the vibrant cultural and social contributions of LGBTQ+ owned small businesses is vital in nurturing a thriving LGBTQ+ community. These businesses stand as beacons of resilience and self-reliance, enriching our community fabric every single day. While their significance often extends beyond monetary measures, it's essential to acknowledge their invaluable role in our collective journey, not only during Pride Month, but throughout the year. Addressing the financial disparities they face is not just about rectifying injustice, it's about unlocking opportunities for growth and prosperity. By championing financial equity for these businesses, we pave the way for a brighter future, one where LGBTQ+ workers, communities, and the entire nation can flourish together. Hello, my name is Glory Casuto, and I'm the Supports Program Director at the Frederick Center.
And I'm Amanda Holk, a volunteer and one of the co-founders of the Worth the Wait group at the Frederick Center. Highlighting LGBTQ+ businesses is significant for several reasons. It provides visibility and representation. This helps break down stereotypes and fosters a more inclusive environment by challenging discrimination. It sends a message that everyone deserves equal opportunities regardless of their sexual orientation or gender identity. It leads to economic empowerment because supporting the LGBTQ+ businesses contributes to our economic growth. When consumers intentionally choose to buy from queer-owned businesses, it boosts our financial stability and success. Highlighting LGBTQ+ businesses also fosters community building, as our businesses often serve as safe spaces for the LGBTQ+ community. By promoting them, we strengthen community bonds and create networks of support. Also, successful LGBTQ+ entrepreneurs inspire others to pursue their dreams. Our stories serve as powerful role models for aspiring business owners in our community.
In a nutshell, celebrating LGBTQ+ businesses is about empowerment, visibility, and fostering a more inclusive economy for us all. Despite these challenges, the LGBTQ+ community continues to soar above the blaring disparities to celebrate loudly and proudly. During this Pride Month, we encourage everyone to celebrate with us by honoring this community's impact in history and on future generations, advocating for equitable rights and promoting acceptance as we continue to remind the world that there is still work to be done to achieve full equality and inclusivity. We must empower all individuals and communities to continue the fight for LGBTQ+ rights in every way we can.
Like many other communities in the United States, the City of Frederick and its queer-owned businesses are no strangers to overcoming obstacles to serve the community. Join us as we hear insight from some of Frederick's LGBTQ+ owned businesses: Dublin Roasters, Pride on the Patio, Puerto Rico Distillery, Nevermore Events, KR Realty Group, and The Showroom.
I have lived in many places growing up as a Navy brat, and Frederick, you see a lot more diversity in the commercial spaces. You see mom and pop shops. It's not just big box stores. Positives are seeing a diversity in the types of businesses that are here. Frederick does a really good job of creating activities, festivals, farmers markets, not only for the public, but networking within the professional community. It's been really beneficial for us. My wife met me when Puerto Rico Distillery was in the planning stage, and so she kind of took a leap of faith that this was going to work out, and now we are not only supported and welcomed by the community, but I'm able to support my family, and we have this beautiful baby daughter that we're welcoming, and so I see immeasurable potential by being who you are and showing others that they can do it too. Pride Month is great because it's a reminder to celebrate, but I think we all benefit from remembering that it started off as a riot. And so let's think about how we can support these businesses every day of the year.
Dublin Roasters Coffee is celebrating 25 years this year. So we're going to do some stuff with the chamber and the city to celebrate that whole milestone. But it did kind of happen, you know, based on a hobby and a passion. In regard to LGBT, I know there are some barriers there. For me, like I said, I think I've overcome some of them, and it's just more of an openness for me when being one of the first, you have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. And there are questions that, maybe some people would find them offensive or too personal. But I think being in the police department first, that kind of got wiped away because you are uncomfortable a lot of the time. And I just understood that the more the conversation happened, the more everyone would get some questions answered. It's new to people in some regards in small communities. So now I feel like the ball is rolling and the support is happening and the questions are being answered. And it's bridging that gap. So I didn't have a ton of barriers, but it was because of, I think, my attitude of just whatever questions you want to ask, I'm here. I think it's important to highlight it, and definitely, honestly, sometimes I forget, oh yeah, I'm gay. How about that? It just never comes up. So, but I have to remember that because I need to highlight it. Not everyone is at this place in their life and could sometimes use, a little pick-me-up, a little bit of morale, feeling safe. So if you're out there and you're present in the community, it just kind of inspires them unknowingly that, hey, this is definitely possible and I can do this. And, it just kind of helps them to see that it's achievable.
This city not only welcomes but celebrates diversity. I've felt that myself since I've been here for the last decade in very big ways. Especially when I lived downtown. Pride Month was special because there's just rainbows everywhere, and it's just a fun place to be. In Frederick, there's a general strong sense of community spirit here in the community at large and within the LGBT community. Not only general community spirit, but a collaborative spirit between businesses also, where we often work together to promote each other and the city as a whole. My organization, Transplant, combines the KR Group with Pride on the Patio and the Castro Kramer Business Collective, which enables me to not only help people find housing, but I can help them find their people, find their tribe, make friends, find local resources. And then through the Castro Kramer Business Collective, I can potentially help them find employment also. And from all of those angles, I can help someone start a life here in this community, just like I did once, and thrive. If you're an LGBT person, whether you need housing, whether you need friends, whether you need resources, and you're having trouble locating these things, come to Pride on the Patio. Check out Transplant. We have a ton of resources for the LGBT community in general. We can also refer you to other resources as well, like the Frederick Center. The Frederick Center is incredible, and they do a great job doing what they do.
I've worked for various venues just as a subcontractor for probably 8 years now, and just have seen the ways that things work and don't work, and noticing where people are feeling limited, where my hands were tied, and going out and being able to do things on my own where I could support a wider audience that may not be able to spend $25,000 on a wedding was incredibly important to me. I have had several either potential clients or clients come to me and say, hey, we've reached out to other people, several other vendors, and have been either passively turned away or actively turned away for services based on their sexual preference and the partner they chose, which is completely awful. A lot of these people will send family members to come and speak for them. We'll get a lot of emails from sisters, friends, and kind of have to work that angle to be able to make this couple feel included, make them feel supported. And that really comes across not just in the LGBTQ community, but with others as well that feel underserved. Something I never felt the need to really discuss in the past. If I feel uncomfortable, which is mostly some of that spectrum and neurodivergence talking, I explain it. The other part of it, I'm just comfortable and very open about it. We do like to do things like standing on this bridge. We're doing a ceremony to start, wedding ceremony to start Pride. It'll be just about renewal, and hopefully in the next few years it'll be a little bigger than that. But I just kind of want people to be able to share the love and see that we're supporting these couples that deserve to have a chance as well.
Oh, Frederick's an amazing place. I remember the first time I came here in the early 90s and walked around downtown and just thought, this is incredible. And I remember looking at that time there was a lot of vacant buildings in downtown Frederick, and I thought someday this is going to be amazing. That someday came quite a while ago, and Frederick is such an amazing place. My LGBTQ identity is part of who I am. I'm also a parent, a dad. I'm a spouse. I'm a business owner. I'm a lot of different things, and the fact that I'm gay is no more important a piece of who I am than the other pieces. It's really easy for us to go through life making other people two-dimensional and to make judgments about people based on the way they dress or the color of their skin or who they love. Or the fact that they're a business owner or a mom or whatever these other things are. We try to put people in little boxes, and by being my whole three-dimensional self and looking for other people's whole three-dimensional selves, I think life becomes a whole lot more interesting.
Pride on the Patio is many things. We are a social and cultural institution in Frederick. We provide events and social gatherings for the LGBTQ community, but we really saw a need that there were so many small communities and neighborhoods within our city that our members of the LGBTQ community lived, and they necessarily didn't know each other, but they had lots of things in common. And part of the reason LGBTQ identities are often linked to nightlife, and nightlife often is about creating, as I had said earlier, creating a world and getting away from daily life where there may be pressures that you can't fully be the person that you want to be on the inside. But when we create safe spaces that are inclusive and you may actually be creating a different person. You're exemplifying something that you can't normally do during some hours of the day. And so that was certainly why Pride on the Patio has come about. I think I want people most to know that it's good to be yourself and be authentic, to find your niche in your audience, and just to never give up and always celebrate your successes, no matter how small they are. When you have lots of those little small successes, they eventually wind up being very big successes.
The City of Frederick has provided one of the most welcoming and inclusive environments for the LGBTQ+ business community. Proudly displayed pride flags and openly celebrated spaces of belonging are common sights throughout our city. Our community members often feel safe, positively seen, and actively heard. It's no wonder that the City of Frederick has earned a 100 on the Human Rights Campaign for the 2023 Municipal Equality Index, as they seem intentional about creating positive solutions toward a continued drive of resolving realized systemic inequalities in every area.
The City of Frederick urges us to not only celebrate but actively support queer-owned businesses. We can begin by asking these businesses directly how we can best assist them. Simply listening to the voices of impacted communities is an often overlooked step towards creating change. While Pride Month is a great time of celebration, it's also a critical time to reflect on and enhance our inclusive efforts. Inclusivity goes beyond mere performative recognition. It involves creating an environment where everyone is valued, respected, and empowered to be their true selves. Some practical ways to have an impact may include sharing online education content from the LGBTQ+ community members to highlight their voices, and we can also participate in the learning experience as well. As a business, perhaps reviewing and updating your work policies to be more intentionally inclusive in your language towards the LGBTQ community. Creating and advertising safe spaces of open communication and allyship are always welcome. And of course, being a patron of a queer-owned business in our community to promote the financial well-being of the LGBTQ+ community goes without saying.
Inclusivity is not a one-time effort, but an ongoing commitment. Honoring Pride Month in our local businesses is more than just a celebration. It's an opportunity to reflect on our commitment to making meaningful changes. By educating ourselves, updating policies, celebrating inclusivity, creating safe spaces, promoting allyship, implementing inclusive language, highlighting LGBTQ+ voices, and supporting LGBTQ+ clauses, we can create a place where everyone is truly valued and empowered. As we celebrate Pride Month, let's commit to recognizing LGBTQ+ businesses and truly honoring diversity and inclusivity across all intersectionality.
How about that inspiring video? We use those videos to provide compelling testimonials, and in this case about the LGBTQ-owned businesses that are on the move and leading the way for the entire community, and we couldn't be more proud of them. Good afternoon. I'm Richard Griffin. I'm Director of Economic Development for the City of Frederick, and many of you know that I love people. I like their stories, I like where they're from, I like just about everything about learning about where people stand in this world. And it takes all kinds of people, because diversity is the spice of life, for sure. It makes our city, our neighborhoods, our schools, our workplaces more enjoyable and more productive. We get better outcomes when we embrace diverse voices. And when you blend people and you blend businesses, the world gets a little brighter. One of my favorite parts about being in economic development is getting to hear from and see so many business people and hear about their dreams and passions for their business services and products. And each month, my team and I meet with dozens of business owners as we share information on permitting, locating, financing, marketing, hiring, building, producing, and so much more. And as I look out across this space today, I see many faces of organizations and owner-operators and their employees who my team has worked with, and I think the world of that. Nothing makes us happier than to look out and see successful businesses in the community and people that we've worked with. So it is my distinct pleasure to be here celebrating Pride Month with each of you. The incredible contributions of LGBTQ businesses, their owners, and their employees here in the City of Frederick is tops. Frankly, there isn't a better place in America to operate a business than right here in Frederick, and the nation knows it. Money Magazine, Livability.com, Stacker, Matador, and even Outside Magazine have researched the quality of life, the cost of living, the openness of the community to diversity, the availability of transportation options, diversity of housing, including workforce housing, inclusive parks and nightlife, and so much more. Outside Magazine recently named us one of the happiest cities in America. And I have to tell you that Frederick's LGBTQ contributions, coupled with so many others, have made Frederick the bee's knees of cities across the United States. And how many of you enjoy bee's knees cocktails, right? According to articles in recent years in Forbes magazine and business publications, big tech companies and other prominent firms have been vocal supporters of LGBTQ+ rights because studies show that LGBTQ+ friendly corporate policies have had a positive impact on the firm's stock market valuation and financial performance. And those companies, along with smaller ones, want to be in diverse places like Frederick where they can recruit and they can retain talent from a wide variety of sectors. Now, at this point, I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't put in a plug for the city's Department of Economic Development. We are a full-service economic development organization within the City of Frederick, providing quality business assistance to the estimated 3,700 businesses in the city of all types and sizes, including our LGBTQ+ employers. Our work ranges from biotech to beer brewing and from retail to restaurants. More than 97% of the businesses in Frederick are local, small, and less than 50 employees. And we know that many of our LGBTQ+ owners are sole proprietorships, and some of them are here with us today, as the mayor pointed out earlier. Our small team of 3 economic development specialists, Mary, Becky, and Donna, work tirelessly to retain and expand existing Frederick businesses, as well as attract new ones to the community. Not a day goes by without a prospective new business owner coming through the door of City Hall for a meeting to discuss opportunities, resources for opening here in Frederick. And we're very excited about that, and we're very excited when we work with underrepresented communities and with the LGBTQ community. One area that we're very excited to provide service is to our resident entrepreneurs right here from Frederick who want to start new businesses using the old-fashioned bootstrap approach. And we offer a lot of incentives to do that. We provide one-on-one support, site selection assistance, grow grants, facade grants, and partnering with other programs like Empower to provide the support that underrepresented communities and business owners need. One huge barrier that we know of for underrepresented businesses is access to capital. And our department is working jointly with the city's DEI department and the mayor's office to develop and launch Access Granted, a new financial assistance program for small, minority, and women-owned businesses using federal grant funds that were earmarked for the mayor and board of aldermen in the FY24 budget for this purpose. So in closing, let me say that the LGBTQ hospitality market is huge as well. And with Frederick garnering more than 2 million visitors a year and generating more than $500 million in spending annually, Frederick is a welcoming, inclusive city which is attracting an increasing share of regional LGBTQ tourism. And with that, I'd like to invite the mayor to come back to the podium and announce some additional initiatives happening within the City of Frederick.
So thank you, Richard. I have the tremendous honor on a regular basis, as much as any department in the City of Frederick, to work with Richard and that small team that he described. And let me tell you, they are the bee's knees. As part of the recently adopted budget, the Mayor and Board of Aldermen made it a priority to ensure that the City of Frederick remains a welcoming place for all. And with this commitment in mind, and for those who may not have followed our budget process closely, which is a really small number of people, I think, I'm thrilled to announce the establishment of the Pride Visibility Grant. This grant, backed by $50,000 in the upcoming fiscal year 25 budget, will support LGBTQ+ friendly events throughout the month of June in 2025, including events just like the one you're experiencing here today. It's crucial that as a city and as organizations, we make it clear to our LGBTQ+ community that we see you, we hear you, and we support you. And we're backing that commitment with meaningful dollars to make sure everyone sees and hears and supports and celebrates as well. The grant application process will launch in the fall, in September, and will follow a similar structure to our community promotions grant process. Here are some of the key guidelines and criteria for these Pride Visibility grants to keep in mind. The grant amounts will range from $1 to $10,000. That's $1,000 to $10,000. The application deadline will be January 20th of 2025. It will be open to eligible nonprofits and community organizations that are hosting LGBTQ plus friendly events in June of 2025. The events have to promote visibility, inclusivity, and support for the LGBTQ plus community in Frederick. I don't think it's going to be difficult for us to find organizations, opportunities, and events that fit that criteria. In addition to the Pride Visibility Grant, I'm excited to share that the city has earmarked $20,000 for the Frederick Center through our Community Promotions Grant for fiscal year 2025. This funding is specifically dedicated to helping the center provide critical services to our youth at a time when it has never been more important. Supporting our community is always going to be key to our mission in building a welcoming and inclusive City of Frederick. But as an organization, we must also consistently look inward. The City of Frederick has proudly earned that perfect score of 100 on the Human Rights Campaign's Municipal Equality Index every single year since I became mayor. Reflecting, thank you. We were less than 100 when I took office, and I just did not think that that was acceptable, and I didn't think there was any reason why we couldn't get to 100. And I'm going a little off script here for a moment, so bear with me. There are a lot of ways in which you can get to 100. And I don't want to say that it's an easy bar for communities to get to. It does require you to undertake work, but if you make the commitment, you can get there. Our score actually exceeds 100, but 100 is the top score that the Human Rights Campaign will give to a community. I can tell you, when you look at the criteria, we have more things that we can do in the City of Frederick to drive our score that we know is higher than 100, even if it will only ever be reported as a score of 100. We're always looking for continuous improvement as an organization to become the most preferred employer that we can be. And with that ongoing commitment, I'm excited to share that the City of Frederick is establishing an LGBTQ plus employee affinity group. This group will provide a space for members of our own workforce to feel heard, supported, and connected within our organization. Establishing this affinity group is our next step in acknowledging that we can always strive to go further in our efforts toward inclusivity. In total, Pride Month is a time for celebration, reflection, and action. It's a time to honor the courage and the resilience of the LGBTQ plus community and to recommit ourselves to the ongoing work of creating a world where everyone is free to be their authentic self. By supporting and celebrating our LGBTQ plus community, we strengthen our city. We ensure that Frederick remains a place where everyone can thrive. Thank you again for welcoming us here tonight to Showroom, to Pride on the Patio. We're excited to spend our evening with you. I'm told that our friends here at Showroom, and this has been mentioned already, have prepared a special Pride cocktail. I do intend to enjoy one and invite others to do as they wish. Thank you all very much for being here. Happy, happy Pride Month.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for sitting in this heat. I'm really glad that you could all be here. I just have one last thing that I want to share. We want to grab some group photos, but before we do that, we weren't able to show the video tonight, but you can find it on our social media at City of Frederick, on Facebook and Instagram, and then on our website, cityoffrederickmd.gov/video. And if you RSVP'd, that's even better because you will get it to your inbox. So I will make sure, and if you still can't find the video, feel free to reach out to a city member. I just want to call a few people up to grab some photos with our photographer. So our mayor, Chris Fair, Richard, along with the Frederick Center representatives who are also here tonight. Businesses who were spotlighted in the video, as well as our host, Amanda. And then we'd also like to have Pride on the patio. Please come on up. Thank you all so much. Enjoy the snacks. Go get a beverage. Enjoy this hot evening. Thank you.